here's the article that came out yesterday by Michael Mudd. Michael Mudd is a guy who used to work for Kraft Foods. He's a progressive guy who just feels guilty about, we made all this macaroni and cheese. We made all that macaroni and cheese. What are we going to do now? So he was one of the guys who was up at the top of Kraft, and he started feeling guilty that we are, and think of this, that we are involved in the miracle of all mankind, that there are more people dying of obesity now than starvation on the planet. That we have somehow or another figured out how to feed more people and have food at such plenty that more people are dying because they're too fat than they're starving to death. That is a remarkable miracle. Never before in man's history has there been so much food that people were just overweight because they were like, we're making a couch out of marshmallows. I got so many marshmallows. I just started making a marshmallow house out of it. Okay, that's the way the world has become.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Marshmallow houses.
Marshmallow houses. Mm-hmm. Give me some more macaroni and cheese, you Kraft slave maker. Mm-hmm. And that's what Michael Mudd is saying. That he said, I have to quote this from you. This is amazing. I was part of the packaged food and beverage business for now more than 20 years. He said, the industry complains, why pick on us? Everybody in the lineup is guilty, but that's not true. Everybody in this lineup of cumulative social and environmental changes may have played a role in the growth of obesity. I love this.
Cumulative environmental changes?
Global warming.
Yeah, it is fat. So because it got warmer, I want to eat more
maybe environmental
Kraft
changes
macaroni and cheese.
Maybe because environmental changes, we can grow more food. Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
The industry is guilty. The industry. Now, we're talking about big food. For much of the time in the food business, I defended the status quo. Then obesity's prevalence increased in the 90s, and I argued for change. No. In so many ways.
Of course he did.
Mm-hmm. In so many ways, these are good people, but little by little, they strayed from the honorable business of feeding people appropriately to the deplorable mission of increasing shareholder value.
No, they did not.
Confronted with this, the executives who run these companies like to say they don't create demand, they only try to satisfy it. Quote, we're giving people what they want. We're not putting a gun to their heads. The refrain goes, nothing could be further from the truth, they say.
We have guns to our heads.
We
actually
to our heads.
We are forced
We are not the ones that
to eat food.
He says all this tells us two important things. First, the food industry knows it has a problem, potentially a very big one, and the forces against it, if they ever do coalesce effectively, maneuvering for protection by managing public opinion and policy formation, the industry will always try to camouflage itself as just one of the many causes in the growth of obesity. Just like the National Rifle Association points to mental illness and violent video games as a way to deflect attention from the inherent danger of guns. Food processors will wring their hands. It's about physical activity and, yes, video games, but we shouldn't fall for it. Quite simply, the change will have to be forced by public pressure, media attention, regulation, and litigation. Yes, companies at some point will come to some better-for-you version of their traditional products, but they'll trot out a few smaller portion size packages, so the choices that they provide.
So they will give you the choices that you're asking for, but
they're giving you choice architecture, really. That's what they're doing. They're giving you choice architecture.
So people get to choose the thing.
But left alone, the industry will concentrate on selling its problematic product lines.
Selling, which is indicating a transaction in which one side purchases the item that they
because
want
you're a slave.
Currency that they've earned.
What you're omitting so conveniently, Stu, in your little scenario, is that they advertise. They advertise so that you want to buy it. So you're powerless, against the advertisement. Yeah. So you must go and buy their product.
Isn't it a bit ridiculous to act as if giant food companies are forcing you to eat this food? They are coming out and
it is the lack of personal responsibility. It is the idea that there is absolutely no personal responsibility, that you helpless because they come and they just,
big food is jamming
I don't know, they hypnotize you or whatever it is. Look,
oh my, big food. Okay, big food members have just shown up. and are jamming food down Glenn's throat right now. Cupcakes, Twinkies.
Glenn has this
awful.
They're forcing him into eating. Two men in tuxedo T-shirts and sunglasses, dark sunglasses, forcing him to eat food against his will.
Are they done?
For now, apparently.
I mean, it's not really your choice.
Strangely, that food is so good. Where can I buy some of that?
Oh my gosh, it's happening!
I
was mocking the op-ed, and now look, we've
I
proven.
should buy some of that. That is really good.
Now that they've
Stu,
jammed it down your throat.
have you tried the big double gulp from 7-Eleven? I'm a changed man all of a sudden.
Is it tasty?
Just seeing that you had some of that
is rather.
but I don't really want the food.
Oh my gosh!
Big
Oh my
food
gosh!
Just attacks.
Now, oh no!
Oh my God! And they're about. We need some regulation here.
Help me!
Can we please get some regulation here? They are powerless. Powerless. Okay, so here's what they're recommending. Here's what Michael Mudd.
This part dropped out.
No, you didn't. I don't think you were forced
They meant to get that in my mouth, though, and it fell out, and I thought it was only fair if I ate it myself.
Here are some of the more promising ideas that Michael Mudd from Kraft has. Levy federal and state excise taxes on sugared beverages and a few categories. Snack foods, candies, sweet baked goods that undermine health. These taxes will help pay for education. Oh my gosh, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I can't listen to these progressives tell us anymore that everything they do is going to pay for education. Absolutely everything they do is they're going to pay for education with these great new taxes.
Gambling, lotteries.
If we just have lotteries, it'll pay for education. If we just have gambling, it will pay for education. If we just tax the cigarettes, it will pay for education.
If we could just legalize drugs, it would pay for education.
If we would just stop the war on drugs, it would pay for education. If we would just stop building all of our war machines, it would pay for education. How much money does education need? How much money? Right now, 80% of the kids leaving high school in New York City can neither write, read, or do arithmetic to the level that would allow them to make any kind of attempt.
Just go to a community college.
Any kind of attempt to get into any kind of college.
But just the 80%, though.
Yeah,
but only 80%.
But they have to take remedial courses just to be able to go to a community college eventually. That's how bad it is. But instead of concentrating on that, Bloomberg's focused on stopping people from drinking big gulps. Because
he says he has a responsibility. Let me tell you something. The word that the American people need to understand is one word: control. Everything they're doing now is about that one word: control. Control your behavior. Control. You can make the case that I can't have any of those foods because you're going to pay for my heart attack now. Michael Bloomberg says you can't necessarily regulate that people exercise in their homes because they wouldn't put up with it. So you can't necessarily regulate it. But I got news for you. They're going to regulate it because they'll pay for your heart attack. They will control every aspect. Read Agenda 21, man. Agenda 21 with Michael Bloomberg looks like it could happen tomorrow. It is really, truly an amazing thing. But understand, it is all truly about one thing: control. It's not about your health. It's not about education. It's not about the children. It is not about guns. It's not about saving people in schools against guns. It's not about any of that. It is about control because they are currently robbing you blind. That's exactly what's happening. And there's nobody from Big Food. Well, there actually is standing behind me. There's nobody from Big Food forcing you to eat. It is your personal responsibility and your personal choice. And the minute you relinquish that for the common good, common bad is going to be happening everywhere. Everywhere. Bad. And it will become very common. Sponsor this. Don't make me eat it again. No. I don't know.
Oh, boy. Big Food back. And now this time they're jamming.
Oh, it's an entire cinnamon bun. Wow.
A cinnamon down his throat.
I don't want any of it.
You've got some of it on.
Oh, it
your,
is strangely tasty.
Okay.
Our sponsor this half hour.
You've got 3/4 of a cream-filled cupcake on your cheek.
There you go. Yeah, okay.
It's like addicting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're powerless against it without them jamming it down your throat.
What's our sponsor this half hour?
Oh,
Liberty Safe.
Do we have any baked goods in the Liberty Safe? Is that possible?
No, but here I have a.
Oh, thanks.
I have a donut for you.
They're forcing me out.
There's nobody there.
No,
I threw it.
no. They
threw you
forced me to eat that cupcake again.
You knew
Here's the
they'd
thing.
come around the desk
I knew
there.
they were going to force me, so I just figured I'd just head them off at the pass.
Here's the thing that you need to know. The thing you need to keep in the safe, the thing that is most valuable here, Big Food, take this away because it's wrong of you to force people to eat that.